Before Uncle Henry leaves this session, if y'all can remember, would y'all mind telling again how you came about making that first fiddle and getting it started in your music when you was growing up, and the dances and the things that was happening during,
You mean sort of the story?
early age years? I remember it well, y'all having to make it.
As old as you are, you probably don't remember it. Probably
No,
forgot it.
I'll try.
No, I just kidding. You know.
Don't y'all?
How old were you when you started with the music?
Well, I was nearly grown myself.
I was-
Henry's about 14.
Yeah, I think it's.
If he was 14, how old were you?
But he's 6 years older than me.
I was 19 when I started. He might have just been 13.
13, I think. Yeah,
But you 70.
19.
How old are you now?
73.
I'm 67.
That's the same gap you hadn't gained on each other since or lost now.
Well, I gained some on him. He used to be twice as old as me, but he ain't now.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, he was, sure enough.
I know it.
Where were you living then?
When he was 12, I was only 6. See, he was twice as old as me.
But when I was 7, he was just 1. I was 7 times older than he was the
Yeah.
first year.
Well, you always have been slow.
What part of the country were you living in though?
In Georgia, up in the middle of Georgia.
Well, what prompted you to start playing music?
Well, I wanted to get in on that chain. We'd walk to square dances, and when they'd have a square dance, whoever was calling the set dancing, he'd take up 10 or 15 cents from each man every set, mostly 10 cents.
If he could catch you.
Because times was tough in it. That was back when things was so cheap. It took an old hen and a bushel of corn to get a can of Prince Albert. But and they'd take all that change. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
And they'd take all that change and give it to the musicians over there in the corner seat. And
Put it in his shirt pocket.
that's what I was interested in. That's back when the nickel looked like a cartwheel, you know.
What year was this though?
That was along about 19 and
32, wasn't it?
no, 30, yeah, about 19 and 32.
Small one.
Yeah. I think that's when it started out.
Times was tough, you know. We helped one of my uncles get married one time just to get the rice. And
No, I know. My mom.
What it done, we was walking home one night from one of them square dances, and Herman said, let's just play. And I said, we can't play nothing. He said, yeah, I can. And he was thinking about the monetary thing on, you know, the money part. And he went home and made him a fiddle. And it looked a little crude right then, but we didn't have one to pattern by. But he spent a lot of time, and he had it just smooth. And we got some strings from somewhere and put on it. And my daddy had an old fiddle he'd loaned to a fella, and it was way down the country, and he didn't got it when we moved. But anyhow, he said the first one played a tune could have the fiddle. Well, he played the tune first, and he got the fiddle. And then I ordered me a guitar for $4.95, I believe it was, from Spiegel Meister, and they said you could order it with nothing down. And that's how I got the guitar. And we started banging and framming and sawing, and my daddy got pretty upset at it for a time or two, but we got by with it till we could play a tune or two. And then to make a long story short, we was over at this place one night to play, to the square dance, and there wasn't no music there. They said, and they had plenty of folks, and said if we had some music, man, we could have a dance. And we said, we'll play. Oh, you kids can't play. And, yeah, we can. Oh, okay, let's hear you. And they had an old fiddle and guitar there. It wasn't too good. But anyhow, we tuned them up and played the tune, but we had a good beat, you know, where they could keep time. From then on, we had it made. We had a monopoly in that area. But not a monopoly exactly, but most of the time, because we wasn't, but we did get to where that when we'd have to go, a lot of the time, somebody come get us in a car. We didn't have a car, see. We had to walk, and walking way off, that wasn't good, especially when you have to plow all day. And one thing I want to mention, and you can have it back, is we'd listen to these fellows play and try to learn a tune. You'd get it in our mind, we'd come home and we'd try to play it, and we couldn't get it right. We'd go back to the next square dance, listen. We didn't care about the dance much, but listen to the tune. I think I got it now. We was plowing in the field one morning, and the grass was eating us up, but about 9:30, Herman said, I believe I can get that. We hitched some old mules to a cinnamon tree or something. I don't know, I had to make an excuse to go get water, went in there, and didn't Pop catch us or Mom? We was in there practicing it, you know. But he got it. We got the tune, got it right. That stands out in my memory for some reason, I don't know.
But pretty shortly, you said it began mostly for monetary, but right off the bat, it got to be pure enjoyment then.
Oh
yeah, we enjoyed it.
We played every morning while my mother was getting breakfast after we got the cows milked. We played every morning, every day at noon, we'd come in and eat dinner, and then we'd grab them and play till we had to go back to work. Then at night, after we finished up with all the chores, we'd play them at night till our daddy made her run us to bed and said, cut out all that fuss.
But I imagine it was kind of fuss then, really.
But back to the time when I made the fiddle, we was walking home that night, we was talking about doing that. Next morning I went out to the slab pile and got me some lumber out there and started whittling and cutting. And I didn't have a pattern to go by, but I knew the shape of the fiddle. I used some pine and some maple and some white oak. Had to use the white oak to make the sides because it would bend. And Henry there, meantime he whittled out a bow. And we had an old gray horse. And we went out there and we cut enough hair out of his tail to make a bow. He had a frog on it. Adjustable too, you know, you could tighten it up. And that was the first fiddle I ever had. Of course, later when I got my daddy's back, I inherited that. So, and I sent off to see and Roebuck, spent 40 cents and got a set of strings. Strings back then, it didn't matter what kind it was 10 cents. And 40 cents is all the cash
Bell brand
was in the fiddle. Yeah, the strings were Bell brand.
I don't guess they make them anymore.
I'd like to have a set of them now.
That's good. But anyhow, it just come right on, and you know, you learn a little here, learn to play with them. He went to CC camp and was stationed about 10, 15 miles from home. And some weekends I'd get a chance to catch a ride up there, and I'd stay overnight from Saturday and Sunday. Play with a lot of them guys, and they could play good. You remember that old guy, that A-Rag? Wasn't that where we learned that? You learned it and taught it to me, or anyhow I learned it from him. This guy, he just play all of that.
Yeah, I'd pick up a tune from some of them guys, and I'd come home on the weekend and show it to Henry, and then he took it. That's how he got to be as good a guitar picker as he is. I was bringing him tunes home.
Yeah, watch that. Anyhow, I uplifted them and got them straightened out. Yeah, that's